Riga Kalfas. Our king, Nienajadly.
WCPO 49 stands for news here in Cincinnati, but every Sunday, BPA King of Bowling.
Check it out.
11 o'clock a.m. till noon every Sunday from now on, and no more Olympics to contend with. That white snow stuff, I never had to contend with that except one year.
This
up at the Peterson. Up at the Peterson.
Oh, yeah?
In Chicago. It's a tournament that a lot of us bowlers know about. The broken window was about where the arrows would have been, and there was snow blowing in on lane 1.
You gotta be kidding me.
It's a true story. Snow blowing in on lane 1. And folks, you got to realize this particular tournament's like a circus. There's no arrows on the lanes.
So fun.
The pins are stored on the top of the building roof for 6 months in the weather.
They take your ball away in a shopping cart and put a big chalk number on it.
They throw it in a shopping cart.
You get your mug shot taken, of course.
It's crazy. And Lee starts off where he left off, and that is just flush in 1-2. And then all of a sudden, here I go out there. I'm hot shot bowler, really doing well in tournaments.
You're going to win the big bucks.
I'm going to win this tournament. And I get to lane 1, and there's snow on the lane. And I go to the tournament official. I guess that's what he was. Probably some derelict just wandered in off the street. I said, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "There's a puddle of snow right where I'm trying to play." He says, "Well, move your target."
Oh.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Wasn't funny at the time. I wanted to choke him. Lee Nienajadly opening up again
Sammy
with a double.
Coleman making sure our scores are correct. I'm telling you, he does a great job.
Every Sunday, for the last 100 years, he's shown up for bowling. 30 that we know of, because he's been around for King
That'd
Bowling.
That'd be 28 that we know of for me.
That's right. Riga Kalfas is not going to fold under a double.
That's right. That's for sure.
No way.
Age 26. Qualifying score, of course, he was the king, so he's coming back for his 19th TV appearance, or perhaps his 20th.
16 300 games, 3 800 games, and just a solid game. A little guy playing a big man's score all the time.
You bet. Wow. Dejection there.
And this is the type of pin you can't do a lot of adjusting for. The solid 7 where the pin goes up and around, you can't do it. Now, keep your eyes on the second pin from the left-hand side of the screen. Watch it go around the bottom of the pin, right here. See it go around the bottom, folks? You can't do anything about that. Nope. That's just a bad break. If it goes up and around the neck, you can adjust for that. That type of a leave, you just kind of chew on your bottom lip.
Ah, Shally, what a nice lady. And Tyler Matthew resting comfortably. Hoping Daddy brings home them bucks. I know Shelly's been having fun with it.
It's amazing to me when our kids were little, we'd bring them to the bowling establishments and tournaments. You put them in a basket, they can sleep through all this noise.
Yeah.
Amazing to me.
I think it's even kind of good, because then when your house is noisy like mine normally is, baby can rest.
No, not your house. Never.
Dog, cat, 2 kids, it's a zoo.
I've heard it described as a zoo before for all sorts of reasons. We are in match number 3 in week number 7. This passes our halfway point in our 12 weeks of King of Bowling that we have been bringing to you. This is the LaRu show, and these are the LaRu qualifiers, and one of these 2 gentlemen will become our king and go on to our next week's telecast, which will bring us more excitement, I'm sure.
Lee Nienajadly is definitely becoming a name to be reckoned with.
9 pins in the lead at this point, and a strike will not hurt his chances at all, with Kerry Logan coming up in the 4th frame. If he matches that strike, he'll be Kerry Logan, he's out of here last game.
No, but he's standing around here.
Yeah,
He's still making us laugh. We can't help it.
Riga Kalfas, if he strikes, he will remain only 9 pins down. And anything less than double digits in this game, you can eat it up in one frame in a heartbeat. It's in the area.
Oh, boy.
It is a crusher.
That was a crusher.
A crusher, we called it. Look at the hand, just kind of balancing the ball, cupped wrist, opens up, and then closes it again at the release. Now watch these pins dance.
Whoa, that was neat.
That's a Red Sea strike.
That was.
Just
That was
open them
great.
up, send half of them one way, half of them the other way. Trails by 9 pins. Both players with a strike working. We have a match.
When you see Riga balance that ball, I wonder if that doesn't just keep his arm swing real nice and loose.
Exactly.
Looks like a pretty good thing to do. I might try that.
I think I'd try that. I'm going to try striking
Whatever
more.
that was.
Maybe my average will go up. WLW, the big 700, is working with us. And watch this shot from the floor. What a great shot of the release again. 1-2 pocket filled up. Just absolutely crushes the pins into submission. Think Lee's scared?
Wow.
I don't think so, Tim.
No, that's awesome. I don't think so, Tim.
Yeah, I don't think so. WLW, we're running a contest. I want you all to listen to Jim Scott tomorrow at approximately 7:20 a.m. Let me even read this like a radio announcer. And when Jim Scott asks for the correct winning score for this, the third game, the correct caller with the correct score will win his and her AMF bowling balls worth over $200.
Sounds more like a radio announcer out of work to me.
Okay, we'll stick with television then.
All right, Lee.
One of the
big smile. He's boxing. Cool.
One of the balls is a Dick Weber reactive resin, and I don't know if this is a reactive resin or not, but it's a great reaction. Watch the pins do a Sundance. Look at this. 8-pin?
Yeah.
Get out of here. From the back. He said, what, 8-pin? Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, those bowling balls are a great value.
Cool.
By the way, I encourage anybody to call in because that's over $200.
Well over $200.
You bet.
I think it's probably closer to
Three?
250,
Yeah.
270.
I bet you're right. Of course, Chris Lacita and his father, Vince Lacita, fine man, came out this morning. He delivers entries for us and represents us so well over at the Hoinky Classic.
And Chris is the one that donates those 2 bowling balls to the cause. The difference, still 9 pins. Both players on triples.
Great match.
Kind of like 2 heavyweights duking it out in the middle of the ring. Of course, these heavyweights weigh about 150 pounds.
That's right.
But
Featherweights.
It's a featherweight division, but their balls are hitting like the heavyweight division. These guys are just absolutely doing well. Tight. You can see it come out of his hand early. Not happy with his performance on that shot, Jen.
No, not at all. Not typical Riga.
Watch his hand, folks. It's going to roll over or clockwise around the ball early. Right there is a little too soon to be rolling over. The elbow flies outside of a parallel, in his case to his left, which brings the ball inside of your target. And very fortunate to break down the split, leaving a single pin spare.
That's what I was saying about your arm being loose. That time it just wasn't loose. He was too tight.
Exactly.
That is really so important. You wouldn't think people that don't really know anything about bowling that by keeping your arm loose, you could throw it better. Same way with golf.
Lee Nienajadly has an opportunity here to expand his 9-pin lead with a strike.
Oh.
Fantastic break.
He's filled up the pocket practically every ball. 2 straight matches now.
That's right. You've got to be around the pocket to strike. And he changes balls for his spare. Jen?
Well, yeah, going with the hammer, urethane. I think that is a good choice because that gives a more consistent roll across the lane. Maybe it's not a hammer. What do you think? Is it?
It's blue. Okay?
Can we determine that from here?
It's blue. Well, we'll find out in a minute, but it's blue for sure. And that one's red or burgundy. So
Okay.
we're establishing technically what these balls are. We're really getting down into the game here.
That's a Turbo X he's throwing, which is for sure a resin ball.
Left-hand lane. Let's see if he can do it. Week 7.
If you would like to know more about these bowling balls, go see Joe over at Tri-State Bowling Supply doing a great, great job.
Week 7, different than the strong 7 from before. Again, the culprit. Second one from the left-hand side of your screen. That's the 4-pin. He wants it to wind up and hit, but it won't. Watch it. The reaction tells you the story. No good, a single pin spare to shoot at, and no problemo.
Joe over at Tri-State's been taking care of you for a few years, hasn't he, Dave? Gus?
Doing a marvelous job, Gus and all the boys there. Riga Kalfas trails by 8 pins as we watch him. Has an opportunity to put a strike up in the 8th frame, which would give him the advantage, and should he take it off the sheet, then Jennifer win.
You bet.
The qualifier, or the championship.
The kingship.
The kingship, that's
Once
right.
again. Looks pretty good. Oh, smash.
It was only perfect.
159 in the 7th with a strike up. Lee, of course, leading still, but he only has the spare up, so this could be the turn of the match here, one way or the other, for Riga Kalfas and Lee Nienajadly. Cooch Milan there in your lower left-hand corner. Now he's gone. Goldheart Distributors down here in Indiana.
Riga knows he's in control of his own fate. All strikes will net him yet another title. Any opening,
all right.
Any opening along the way, and Lee is going to have a chance. Look at that, good sportsmanship.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Pat on the back. You know, go get him, give him your best shot. And again, this game, you don't have a competitor. The competitor is within you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Does not back off. And he's very happy to be here, or at least in position. Keep your eyes on the 2nd pin from the right-hand side of your screen. That's your 6th pin. Now, what takes it out? A 10 pin with a little reverse English. The reaction.
That's unusual.
The reaction tells you that he is as surprised as we are, but nevertheless still in the match with the strike in the 9th frame. Riga Kalfas needs to take it off the sheet to guarantee a win.
Mm-hmm.
Lee has an opportunity to, he got it in big time. Critical 10th frame where the pressure is. He bumps it through the nose. Riga Kalfas
It's not out of it yet.
Not too worried about the game, but like you said, it's not mathematically over. He needs to make this spare, bring back 10.
Now that could really hurt. That's going to do it there.
You can't do that. Lee is too good a bowler. He's shown us too much talent at this point, and he is not happy with what he's done.
It's definitely over. Well, that's a bummer because Lee's bowled so beautifully. But on Lee's bio sheet, at first he had never bowled before. He scratched that out, wrote 1, scratched that out, wrote 2, scratched it out.
Riga Kalfas, you're looking at him. He is our winner and king once more. Riga Kalfas. He is a king and a king indeed. We will see him next week. 228, Lee Nienajadly's undoing open in the 10th frame. 215, not enough. Folks, what a show. We'll have another one just as good next week, I promise. But we'll be back to hand out some cash in just a few seconds. Stay with us.
New from Pizza Hut, the ultimate pepperoni pizza.
Maybe we shouldn't eat this. What?
Bigger, zestier, all-new pepperoni taste.
It's the ultimate. We eat this now and it could ruin everything else. It's like you go out with a supermodel. Even Susan Myers wouldn't compare to her. One bite. and there's no going back. So you gonna eat it?
Yeah. Try one for $7.99. A second medium for $5 more.
Take your Pizza Hut receipt to a participating BPA bowling center and receive 1 game of bowling free.
Mike Sells brings you potato chips with one-of-a-kind taste. That's why I choose Mike Sells Original and Mike Sells Groovy Potato Chips over any other. They're made with fresh, all-natural ingredients like the finest potatoes prepared in 100% premium peanut oil for that delicious one-of-a-kind taste that everybody loves. So when you're choosing chips, choose Mike Sells Original and Mike Sells Groovy Potato Chips. They are delicious.
High atop the Queen City's 7 Hills lies Western Bowl, the plush recreation facility in Cincinnati that houses the world-famous Hoinky Classic. This 46-week bowling tournament has, for each of the past 13 years, paid out over $2.5 million to non-professional league bowlers. Thanksgiving weekend, the Super Hoinky, a 3-day single-game elimination tournament, entertains scratch bowlers and features a first prize of $100,000. Bowlers the world over have participated in the Hoinky Classic the past 51 years. For information, call 1-800-543-4010.
That brings to a close week number 7 at the LaRu show. And Jennifer?
Gary Rolfe is the proprietor here down at Durban Bowl. Your place looks great, by the way. Joe Stamper, $500. Way to go, Joe.
Fantastic job, Joe. And once again, our king, Riga Kalfas, $600. Congratulations, Riga. You are a super king, and we look forward to next week. And we look forward to seeing you next week here on BPA's King of TV Bowling. Be here. Don't miss us.
BPA King of TV Bowling, brought to you by Pepsi, the ultimate taste. Jeff Weiler, Eastgate Auto Mall, your one-stop shopping center. Affordable Chiropractic, the official BPA back care specialist. And by Ribs King Barbecue Sauce, a Cincinnati original.